Hello and welcome to Americans Baseball. My apologies for the delayed start to the broadcast, but we are online and we are live for the bottom of the fifth inning coming up in just a moment. It'll be the Jamestown Tarp Skunks hometown team coming up to bat when we are back, so we will give you a look first at the Tarp Skunks lineup for today's game. Brady McGuire leading things off and playing second base. Nolan Smith batting second and playing first. Ben Slanker, the right fielder, bats third. Justin Bremner in the cleanup spot in center field. Nathan Borchert, the extra hitter, will bat fifth. Brady Marshall, the shortstop, bats sixth. And then Weeks, Herman, Costello, and Lindquist to round things out. Hunter Bell's already out of the game. It's Anthony Serrano in to pitch for the Skunks. So pretty much the same batting order as yesterday. A few minor changes. Weeks and Slanker switching spots in the field, as well as Eric Weeks and Blake Herman moving up the lineup. But to start things off this inning, it'll be Branson Lindquist. So after this, it's back to the top of the order. We are underway for more Americans baseball. Brady Toney in to pitch for the Americans after Keegan Bazinet, who was on a 60-pitch count, gave the Americans 4 innings. That's in there for strike one on the outside edge. Oh, 1 pitch is lined into center field. Grant Moore chasing it down, headed in. It drops in front of him. Branson Lindquist has a base hit. 4th hit of the day for Jamestown. Brady McGuire has a runner on base right out of the gate. This 5th inning here on the Americans Baseball Network is brought to you by Tropical Heating and Cooling. Call 716-870-0753 for expert service. Brady McGuire's up next. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Came in batting .352 with a .966 OPS. And he gets hit on the shoulder. Umpire coming to meet with Brady Toney to confirm this call. Appears it's going to be ruled. He got a piece of it. No, they say it didn't hit him right off the pitch. It's 0-1 on this count with a base runner on second. Brady McGuire moving there. Foul ball to make it an 0-2 count. McGuire looking to get on base for the first time today in this 3rd time through the Skunks order. Toney in his 1st inning of work already gave up a hit to Lindquist, who's on second base with the lead. Toney checks back, now delivers, and it's just outside for a ball. So correction here, it's actually 2-1. Umpire ruling there was no swing, just a ball that nearly hit him. Did not get the batter. So count is in the favor of McGuire. He takes another one over him to make it 3-1. McGuire looking to drive in the runner in scoring position in Brady Toney's 1st inning of work with nobody out. Count is all filled up. Toney ready for the payoff pitch to the leadoff man, Brady McGuire. And it's inside for ball 4. McGuire takes first. It's 2 ducks on the pond for Nolan Smith. Smith has gotten on twice, but no proper at-bats yet. Pair of walks, and he came around to score both times. Ben Slanker driving him in once, Justin Bremner driving him in once. He's responsible for both of these Tarp Skunks runs. First pitch from Tony is down the pike for strike 1. Tony with no fear attacking the zone right away. He knows Smith is a patient hitter. Wasn't expecting a strike right out of the gate, especially as the number 2 hitter in the order. But right now, the Americans need an out badly. Leadoff single given up by Tony, and then a walk. A low ball to even up this count. If Nolan Smith can walk again here, the bases would be juiced. There would be nowhere to put Ben Slanker. And if there's anything to know about Ben Slanker over the course of the 2 games the Americans have seen him, is that he hits the ball harder than most other hitters in the PGCBL. So that's not a guy you want to face with the bases loaded. It's 2-1. Slanker may not be the cleanup hitter in this order, but he can certainly serve as a cleanup in this inning in that 3 spot and would be 4th up in the bottom of the 5th. Smith has the count in his favor, and the first 2 runners got on base. Lindquist, the lead runner at second, McGuire at first. Tony's 2-1 catches, drops too low, and it's 3-1. Brady Tony looking to recover after the early 3-ball count to Nolan Smith. Has struggled to find the strike zone early in this game here. And it is just inside. Another walk. That's back-to-back walks by Brady Tony. Ben Slanker is up to bat with the bases loaded. The Tarp Skunks have a chance to blow this game open. Brady Tony conferencing with Nick Past to make sure that doesn't happen. Slanker hit 21 bombs at Ohio this past spring. That got him a transfer to Louisville in the fall. Headed into this game, a .565 hitter with a .1477 OPS, and tonight he's 2 for 2 with an RBI. Single and a double thus far for Slanker. His double knocked in Nolan Smith last time around. Now he has Smith on first base once again, but this time 2 runners in scoring position as well. Lindquist, the lead runner at third, McGuire at second. That's in there for strike 1 on the inside part of the plate from Brady Tony. Slanker. He's played all over this outfield. He's in right field tonight. Was in left last night. Has also played in center. 0-1 pitch. Check swing, but pulled back in time to even up this count. For those of you just rejoining, we apologize for all the earlier technical difficulties. But Slanker with a 1-1 count on the bases. Juice takes another ball outside. Right over that righty batter's box. 2 balls and 1 strike from Tony. Tony. Here's a 2-1 pitch. It's lined into center field. It's going deep. Moore backing up. He makes the grab. Runners from second and third tagging up. Lindquist scores. McGuire to third base. It's a sac fly for Ben Slanker. A great day for Ben, and the Tarp Skunks now lead 3-0 0. That's the first out of this entire inning for Brady Toney. Looking to improve upon that right here against Justin Bremner. Grant Moore catching the sac fly, and it's runners on the corners. Ben Slanker retired. Nolan Smith still on first. Brady McGuire on third, and Justin Bremner, the cleanup hitter, up to bat. Strike one on the outside edge of the zone to start us off in this bottom of the 5th. Bremner up for the first time this inning. Line shot right to Ramos. He makes the catch. Throw to third. Not in time for the double play, but a very productive out for these Americans. Much needed for out number 2. Slanker and Bremner retired consecutively, and the Americans have let up just 1 run after the bases were juiced to start off this inning. Nathan Borchardt up next, the extra hitter. Hails from King University. Can also catch, but hasn't yet in this series. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Just in there for strike one on the outside edge. And now on second base is Nolan Smith with the steal. A quick timeout here. Toney readies for the 0-1, now delivers. It's a high chopper to Huang at second. The throw shoveled to first in time for out number 3. We will send it to the top of the 6th after the break. The Americans get out of bases loaded with just 1 run scoring for the Skunks. 3-0 Jamestown as we head to break. Back for the 6th inning, and this 6th inning here on the Americans Baseball Network is brought to you by Niagara County Legislator Chris Robins, by Laborers Local 91, and Wegmans. The Americans looking to score for the first time in this game. Gave up another run in the bottom of the 5th. They've given up a run in every odd inning in this game, but have not scored any. Americans do have 3 hits on the day, but have left runners on base. Graydon Miller to kick things off for the Americans this inning. It's a low pitch, but check swing. They'll say he went for strike 1. Miller looking to get on for the first time today. He's 0 for 2. Big cut and miss. So 0 for 2 and now down 0 and 2. See how Graydon can recover here. Outside. Or rather, that gets in there for strike 3. Graydon Miller retired on 3 pitches. Chris Gazaldo up next. Gazaldo, 1 for 1 on the day, a single and a walk. Been the bright spot for these Americans. Americans 13-5 when Gazaldo has a hit, so could be a telltale sign the Americans have a comeback in them. But these Tarp Skunks are built different than they were early in the season. Jamestown has won 11 out of 13 games since the last time they faced the Americans. But right now, Gazaldo up 2-0 in this count. Looking to utilize his patience against Jamestown and takes a pitch at his leg for ball 3. Could be a 4-pitch walk if it continues on this trajectory. Anthony Serrano, the first pitcher out of the pen for Jamestown in his second inning of work. Came into the game with a 2.08 ERA and, as evident by the scoreboard, hasn't given up a run yet today. Throws a strike on the outside edge to stay alive in this at-bat against Gazaldo. Chris Gazaldo takes another one on that outside edge. He hasn't swung at a pitch yet in this at-bat. Might be time to swing now with the count filled up. Payoff pitch is in there for strike 3. Gazaldo goes down looking after the early 3-0 count. And Anthony Serrano has back-to-back strikeouts in this 6th inning. That's his 3rd strikeout of the day total. And it's Ian Huang now batting from the left side up next. Upstairs, ball 1 to him. And as evident by the last at-bat, Anthony Serrano very capable of climbing out of early high ball counts in the dirt for ball 2 there. Serrano just kind of lets it rip. The blazing speed on his pitches often strikes out hitters, but at the same time, control can be a downside to his pitching style. We'll see what he has in store for Ian Huang here. Really turned around his season against these Americans. First time facing them was just all-out dominant. Since then, one of the best relievers out of this Skunks pen. 3 2/3 innings against Newark in his last appearance. That was on July 6th. Huang lines it right in front of the second baseman McGuire to throw to first in time for out number 3. That'll do it for the top of the 6th. We'll be right back with the bottom of the inning as Jamestown looks to expand on their lead. Anthony Serrano has continued to pitch excellently for the Skunks.
No, I'm kind of thirsty.
Me too. We could really use something.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yankee Doodle Dan.
That's better.
We bring you back for the bottom of the 6th. And a reminder that an Americans game is a great way to bring your group together. We are able to offer fundraisers tailored to your group needs, nonprofits, churches, youth sports, much, much more. Please visit the Americans website, NiagaraFallsAmericans.com, for more information. Bottom of the 6th coming up. And Brady Marshall, the first man for Jamestown in this inning, by Eric Weeks and Blake Herman in this Skunks batting order. Brady Tony in for his second inning of work. is Austin Barton. That is, unless you count Tommy Mathey, who's made 2 pitching appearances, one of which came in an out-of-league game. But Mathey, the right fielder for the Americans today, likely to stay in that spot. Only one other healthy outfielder in the mix for the Americans in this game. Liam Schott traveled, but Carmpanaro was unable to make it today. Panaro, also a 2A player, but taking the day. 0-2 on Marshall. Line drive into left field. Drops in front of Boyle for the base hit. Marshall on to start this inning for Jamestown. That's been 2 consecutive innings. Brady Toney pitching. Started with a leadoff knock. Eric Weeks up next. Weeks finds himself at 0 for 1 on the day. Also got hit by the pitch. Lead at first for Marshall. It's a low ball 1 to start us off. And this new at bat. Apologies for the continued video lag. Marshall takes off. It bounces in the dirt. Marshall could get another base here, but he opts to stay at second. 2 balls on the count. Wild pitch by Toney. So the advance on the wild pitch for Marshall puts a runner in scoring position. Toney. With the count in his favor, it's fouled off on a foul tip. Right to the left side. Note, the last time the Americans played here was back at the end of June. Ethan Madison at that point was still on the team. Only American to hit a home run at this ballpark this season. Since then has faced a season-ending injury and left to return home to Kentucky. 2-1 pitch is up the middle. Huang does not get there. Base hit. Run scores. Jamestown up 4-0. And another mental mistake for Ian Huang. The Skunks continuing to score off of Brady Toney in this inning. Nobody out and a runner on first. So Toney just looking to get outs. It was not easy for him in the 5th either. Kind of bounced around between starting and relief roles over this last week or so, and it seemed to have affected him. I mean, his first start came all the way back on June 18th against Newark. Or rather, the 17th, but that's a soft ground ball right to Miller at first base. There's an easy out. Brady Toney going to take what he can get. Graydon Miller makes it look easy. 1 down. So back-to-back singles followed by the Graydon Miller tag at first for out number 1. Dom Costello, the 9-hitter for this. The first batter who faced Toney is in the on-deck circle now. Toney checks on the base runner, now delivers. It's a high ball 1. So Eric Weeks now on second base after the ground out. One-zero pitch. High pop-up into third base foul territory. Catch made by Chris Gazaldo. That makes 2 down. Brady Tony looking to retire 3 consecutive batters after the early run scored. Branston Lindquist, the final hitter in the Skunks order, the 3rd time through today. Brady McGuire ready to go if Lindquist can get on base here. Lindquist. 1 for 2 on the day. His only hit came against Tony. Takes strike 1 on the outside edge. That's a line drive. Gets between Huang and Miller for another base hit. Eric Weeks waved around. He scores. Tarp Skunks have scored 2 runs in this inning, and it's back to the top of the order with Brady McGuire. Jamestown blowing this game open. If they win tonight, this series is officially clinched for Jamestown. The playoff tiebreaker is officially clinched for Jamestown, and the Skunks would take sole possession of 2nd place. The Americans need this win, albeit they did walk off the Muck Dogs on Tuesday. That was a big help for, first of all, their placement in the standings, and second of all, proved their legitimacy as a championship contender. But Jamestown has seemed to have their number. Line drive into left field. Gavin Boyle makes the grab for out number 3, and that'll do it for the 6th inning. We'll head to the top of the 7th. The Americans with another shot to make a comeback effort in this game. We'll be right back. We bring you back for the 7th inning. The Tarp Skunks lead 5-0 over the Americans. 7th inning here on the Americans Baseball Network, brought to you by Elks Lodge of Niagara Falls, Bikers Against Child Abuse, the Stalka Agency, and Red Robin Gourmet Burgers and Brews. And since we have not had the chance to yet, we'll give you a look at the Niagara Falls Americans lineup here on the broadcast. So Nick Past, the 7-hitter, is up to start this inning. He'll be followed up by Shane Prey and Alan Ramos. Grant Moore, the leadoff hitter per usual. Gavin Boyle batting 3rd with Mathay sandwiched in between. Graydon Miller, the cleanup hitter, and Gazaldo and Huang in the 5 and 6 slots. Past has an early strike on him and then gets hit. Taking a base right away here in the 7th inning. Americans need to take advantage of every free bag they get down 5-0. Shane Prey up next. Prey takes one upstairs for ball 1. Anthony Serrano in his 3rd inning of work after Hunter Bell pitched to the first 4. Bell has seen the Americans multiple times now. In there on the inside edge for strike 1 on Prey. Count is even. Shane Prey finds himself 0 for 1 on the day with a walk. Tommy Mathey has 2 of the 3 Americans' hits. Chris Gasaldo has the other. So the Panola boys responsible for every single American's hit today. Foul ball makes it 1-2 on Prey. Prey takes one in there for strike 3, right down the pike. Prey does not bite. 1 down, 1 on after Nick Pass was hit by the pitch to start off this inning. Alan Ramos up next. Ramos takes the early strike. Got a piece of that one. It's 0-2. Alan Ramos is without a proper at bat on the day. He took a walk his only other time up. Or rather, he's been up twice. Got hit by a pitch as well. It's a soft grounder picked up by Herman at third. Out at second. Ramos beats out even an attempt at a throw at first base. So the fielder's choice forced by Ramos's sharp base running. 2 down and 1 on. Ramos takes pass spot on first base. Grant Moore, the next batter. Moore, 0 for 3 on the day. Has put some nice balls into play, but nothing dropping for a hit just yet in this one. Grant Moore, his batting average straddling that 400 line. May fall below if he's unable to get some hits up today. It's just inside to make it 2-0. Moore has the count in his favor early with 2 down and Ramos on base. If these two can get on base together, they are a serious double steal threat. 2 of the fastest runners on the American squad. Moore. Could he take a 4-pitch walk right here? Can't assume anything giving Anthony Serrano's ability to get back in counts that were high early, but right there, it's too high up and it's ball 4 for Grant Moore. There it is, the Speed Demons, the Roadrunners on first and second. Tommy Mathey with the chance to knock him in. He's 2 for 3 on a 5-game hit streak. Arguably the hottest hitter on these Americans. He's been here all season alongside Gasaldo and Bowles. It's a chopper right to first base. Nolan Smith makes the tag for out number 3. So Mathey retired there, but a good effort by the Americans. We send it to the bottom of the 7th. Americans still down 5-0. We'll be right back. We bring you back for the bottom of the 7th. And as we're underway in this 7th inning, a reminder that the Americans would love to partner with your business, but since this broadcast started late, I'm going to give you a reminder of some other proud American sponsors already on our sponsor scroll. The Americans sponsored by Bully Hill Vineyards, Greater Niagara Federal Credit Union, Geico, Sammy's Pizza, McDonald's, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 237, Johnny Ryan, and Coca-Cola. Apologies for the technical difficulties, but these sponsors, proud sponsors of the Americans, normally give them their love early in the game, but want to show it right here. Your business could get this same love throughout the game if you sponsor with the Americans today. Grounder right to Miller at first, almost an identical play to what the final batter for the Americans, Tommy Mathay, grounded into right to Nolan. So Smith is a victim of the play that he just finished for the Tarp Skunks. Almost identical, and now Ben Slanker to follow him up. Justin Bremner on deck and due up in this inning as well. Slank takes the outside ball from Tony. Brady Tony, despite 3 runs allowed, looking to stick it out in this ball game. The Americans short on arms, but Austin Barton warming up just in case. And it's another low ball to put Slanker up in this count. Brady Tony hesitating to attack the zone against such a big bat. Just joined the Tarp Skunks about a week ago and sends another fly ball into deep center. Grant Moore's there this time to make the grab. And Ben Slanker retired for the first time without scoring a run. The only other time he's been retired today was on a sac fly that knocked one in for the Skunks. Branston Lindquist came in to score back in the 5th inning on the Slanker sacrifice. Justin Bremner up with 2 down, looking to avoid a 1-2-3 inning. And check swing there. They'll say he went. I think that's the right call from our home plate ump. Nick Past asked for it, and he got it. Tony. Another swing and miss. So now 1 strike away from retiring the side here. After 2 early outs in the field, Brady Tony looking to do it himself for his first strikeout of the game. In his 3rd inning of work, could use that to finish his day as Austin Barton continues to warm up. Possible Tony continues to pitch after this inning if he can get the strikeout here, but Barton's ready whenever. Just outside, it's 2s across the board. Brady Tony has been 1 strike away for a couple pitches now. Can he finish the job? Two-two pitch. Upstairs, count is full. Jamestown looking to avoid the 1-2-3. Brady Tony looking to get out of this inning cleanly. Here's the payoff. And it's low for ball 4. After a 2-strike count, 4 consecutive balls for a walk. Justin Bremner's on first base for Nathan Borchardt. Finds himself over 3 on the day. So it's already the 4th time through the Skunks order. The Americans barely into their 3rd time through. Outside edge, ball 1. Fouled off to the right side to even up this count. Brady Toney came into this day with the highest ERA on the team. Has been used in a mix of starts and bullpen outings. More effective out of the bullpen typically, but since he started mixing in as a starting pitcher, has had mixed results out of the pen as well. 2-1 on the count. Toney looking to get back in this count with 2 down. Nathan Borchardt, the last chance to advance the runner on first, Bremner. Toney get ready for the 2-1 pitch. Delivers, and it's fouled off right behind the plate. 2s across the board again here. Brady Toney had an 0-2 count on Justin Bremner. Ended up walking him on the next 4 pitches. Can he finally get out number 3 after retiring the first 2 quickly? And Borchardt takes off, but it's in there for strike 3. Inning over. We send it to the top of the 8th after the break. We'll be right back.
My fellow American fans, my name is Frankie Morris, your social media manager. You can join us all summer long with many promotional nights and tickets just as low as $10. You can call and get tickets at 716-215-6161 and take a crack at the action.
Back for the top of the 8th inning, and as we didn't exactly start this broadcast right from the beginning due to technical difficulties, also did not get a look yet at the PGCBL standings headed into tonight. The Muck Dogs in first place at 23-10-1. Americans and Tarp Skunks battling in this game for second place, but battling in the series for the playoff tiebreaker. So if they end up tied, this series could end up having a lot of weight on the playoff seeding. Double A's at 19-10-5 in fourth place. Pioneers right behind them. Those 2 teams facing off again tonight. Elmira, a chance to climb back closer to the playoff picture. Pilots at 15-17-2. The final team looking in with the Red Wings and Ironbacks mathematically eliminated. Gavin Boyle ready to bat in this 8th inning, which is sponsored by Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino, the official casino of the Americans. More winning, more comfort, more entertainment. Go to SenecaNiagaraCasino.com for more. Ball 1 on Boyle to start us off here in the 8th. That's down the pike for a strike to even things up. Boyle showing patience here. And we will see if it pays off. Outside in the dirt. Boyle has not swung at a pitch yet in this at-bat. Just one of them has gotten in there for a strike. Americans have been limited to 3 hits in this game. 2 of them by Mathey, 1 by Gazaldo. Can Gavin Boyle join the party with the count in his favor? Takes another one in the dirt instead. to make it 3-1. Boyle, 0 for 3 on the night, has not had a hit since his PGCBL Player of the Week honors. Those came on Monday. This is the 4th game since then. And Boyle, after a week where he was 10 for 20, has entered a bit of a slump. That's grounded right to Nolan Smith. They'll say he gets it in the air. Doesn't even need to make the tag at first base. It's 1 down. Nolan Smith with the low liner makes the grab for out number 1. Graydon Miller, the next chance to get a runner on base for these Americans. They need it badly. Down 5 runs in this game. They lose tonight, they lose the series. And they lose the series, they lose their playoff tiebreaker against these Skunks. 0-1 pitch to Miller is outside, puts ones across the board. Fouled off. Count is in the favor of the pitcher, Serrano. In his 4th inning of work after Hunter Bell pitched the first 4, he's had these Americans number all season long. Tarp Skunks have been watching the Americans. It's a swing and a miss for Graydon Miller, but as I was saying, as Miller strikes out, the Tarp Skunks have seemed to have scouting reports on the Americans' batters and pitchers. And that's allowed Jamestown to really have the edge in this series so far. Gazaldo outside for ball 1. And in this dog days of summer, it's hard to stay committed, give 100%. When, only so much summer left after the summer ball season, but these Tarp Skunks have shown resilience down the stretch. The Americans, while they've lost players, still showing some fight as well. This game down 5-0, but the comeback against Batavia, a sign that this team still has plenty of life. 2-1 pitch to Chris is a high chopper, gets into the outfield. Marshall dove for it, but Chris Gazaldo has himself a base hit for the 4th hit of the day. Gazaldo and Mathey, each with a pair of knocks. Nobody else on the Americans has a hit. Ian Wang will have the chance to advance Gazaldo with 2 down. Wang has batted twice from the right side today, and now 2nd time from the left side. Finds himself at 0 for 3. Motion towards a check swing, but pulled back in time. It's 1-0. Gazaldo has a lead towards 2nd. Wang takes a high pitch near his helmet. Close shave for ball 2. Wang gets on. That's 2 runners on for Nick Pass. Pass hitless so far today, but had a home run against Niagara in Canada. A home run would really get the Americans back in this game right now. It's 3-0 to Wang now. The last time the Americans hit a home run at Dietrich Park, it was off the bat of Ethan Madison for a 3-run shot. A go-ahead shot as well. Wang takes a 4-pitch walk. Anthony Serrano beginning to lose his control of the strike zone late in this 8th inning. Wang takes the walk. Gazaldo heads to 2nd. Nick passed with the chance to knock in some runners. And a mound visit coming for Serrano here. Skunks just getting started on bullpen activity. So it appears likely Serrano will stay in this game. It's just his first visit from manager Frank Jagoda. And Nick passed his next customer. Skunks appears likely they'll turn to another pitcher for the final inning. But as of right now, Anthony Serrano looking to finish his 8th inning of work. Swing and a miss. Pass chases the outside pitch from Serrano. And when your command of the strike zone isn't that strong, if you can get batters to chase outside pitches, get those breaking balls working, that's going to be huge for the Tarp Skunks. Finds the outside corner right there for strike 2. Anthony Serrano, 1 strike away from stranding another 2 Americans on base. Americans just 1 for 14 on the day with runners on. Swing and a miss. 3-pitch strikeout. Have a day, Anthony Serrano. We'll send it to the bottom of the 8th. The Americans have just 1 more shot to make a comeback. That'll come in the top of the 9th. Skunks looking to expand their lead first. We'll be right back with the bottom of the inning.
Fans, if you've been to a game, you know that I give away pizza to a lucky fan in the middle of the 3rd inning. But what you might not know is that Sammy's is located right across the street. They've also been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and originated the half tray of pizza. But if you're hungry at the game, you can stop by the concession stand and get a slice of Sammy's for yourself.
Bottom of the 8th, here from Jamestown. The Skunks lead 5-0 over the Americans. And we'd like to thank everyone for tuning into the broadcast today, but another reminder that an Americans game is a great way to bring your group together, whether it's a school, church, youth sports organization, or business. The Americans are able to offer great options or even picnics for your organization or business. Reserve your group online at www.niagarafallsamericans.com. We also give you a look around the PGCBL West Division. Pioneers, after losing to Auburn last night, lead the Doubledays 5-2. The Ironbacks up 7-6 over the Red Wings in the bottom of the 7th. And the Muck Dogs in a close game with the Newark Pilots lead 2-1. Muck Dogs, Pioneers, and Tarp Skunks all hosting the teams they traveled to yesterday, Niagara Falls, Auburn, and Newark. Ironbacks and Red Wings had the day off yesterday. Brady Marshall to bat here. He takes the outside ball to start things off. Brady Marshall takes another in. Brady Toney sticking it out for another inning here. Got his first strikeout back in the 7th, had his first scoreless inning back in the 7th. Can he stay on track here? So far, 3 balls in a row. Beginning to get dark here at Dietrich Park, but the lights are on and they are bright for these Americans. Tarp Skunks just looking to finish this game strong, and 4-pitch walk will certainly help their case. Runner on first base. And Eric Weeks up next. And the Americans, at this point, down 5-0 in this game. I mean, the ideal scenario is you win both these games and get that playoff tiebreaker, get that advantage in the standings, as the Americans and Skunks are currently tied on the West Division leaderboard. But if the Americans can just take one of these 2 games today and tomorrow, I think they'd walk away at least decently happy. Fly ball to Mathey for out number 1. Marshall stays at first. Because, I mean, also a game against the Muck Dogs on Sunday. If you can win 2 or 3 out of the 5 of those, at least legitimizes the Americans as a playoff contender, a team that can compete with the best even if they don't win every day. But I mean, these bats have been cold against the Skunks. They were cold against Batavia until the walk-off, but a shallow fly ball caught by Mathay for out number 2. From a pitching perspective, the Americans looking pretty good in this inning despite the 4-pitch walk. Brady Toney settling in after 3 runs allowed in his first 2 innings of work, but Dom Costello up next with 2 down and 1 on. Toney has yet to pitch a 1-2-3 inning, but it's come pretty close these last couple, just 1 base runner on in this inning. And no runs allowed in the 7th. Upstairs, ball 1 to Dom Costello. Austin Barton getting going in the pen. Logan Stickler, the bullpen catcher today, with Paul Delanto not making the trip. And hit on the knee and hobbling Dom Costello. We'll hope he's all right, but Brady Marshall into second. Dom Costello walking towards first. First base coach going to check in on him. We'll wait to see if the Tarp Skunks opt for a pinch runner here. But Branston Lindquist up to bat in the meantime. Costello leaves the game, and Nico Frizzell for the 2nd consecutive day coming in as a pinch runner. Costello seems to be okay, but the precautionary measure for the Skunks, and also, quite frankly, a base running decision. Frizzell, a faster runner than Costello, even when Costello is 100%. Branston Lindquist now has 2 ducks on the pond. Can he drive them in to really blow this game open for Jamestown? The Americans are already down 5 here, but hopes of a comeback are dwindling. Just 1 more inning to do it, and runs keep scoring for Jamestown. Toney looking to put a halt to that here. Down the pike for strike 1. He attacks right out of the gate on Branston Lindquist. Showing the confidence, showing the boldness. Brady Toney against a 2-for-3 Lindquist, who's had 2 hits off of Toney today. Big cut and miss. Brady Toney, 1 strike away. Get out of this inning and give the Americans a fighting chance in the top of the 9th. Brady Toney will feel pretty good about himself despite the early runs allowed. Barton has put a halt to his bullpen activity. Toney set to finish this inning. Barton doesn't want to tire out his arm. Toney checks back on the lead base runner now, delivers, it's low in the dirt, briefly gets away from pass, the runners are going, throw to second is errant. Run coming home, Brady Marshall scores, and Nico Frizzell reaching 3rd base. Nick passed, loses the baseball, the Tarp Skunks lead 6-0. And they have another runner in scoring position now with 2 down. It's a pass ball for the catcher. 1-2 pitch. Runner coming home, but a swing and a miss. Ends this inning. Branston Lindquist strikes out, so Toney does get the best of him, but not without a run allowed. Tarp Skunks lead 6-0. Last chance for the Americans when we're back with the 9th inning.
You know, I'm kind of thirsty.
Me too. We could really use something.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yankee Doodle Dan.
That's better.
We bring you back for the top of the ninth. The Americans with their last fighting chance to win this game and stand a shot in this series, get the playoff tiebreaker against the Tarp Skunks. If they cannot win this one, last chance to avoid the sweep will come tomorrow in a Game 3 back at Sal Magley. We'll have all the coverage right here on the Americans Baseball Network. Ideally, none of those technical difficulties. Rooting mostly from internet problems here in Jamestown. But we do want to thank the Jamestown Tarp Skunks for doing everything they can to help us out in getting back online. Shane Prey leads things off for the Americans this inning, takes an inside ball at his knees to start things off. If the Americans lose this one, the silver lining is at the very least can enter a tie in the standings with Jamestown with a win tomorrow. And then if the Americans just perform better over this home stretch of games than the Skunks, they can get that 2 seed or possibly even a 1 seed if they continue to beat up on the Muck Dogs. 2-1 here after the foul tip by Prey. Another silver lining for the Americans, their final 2 games of the regular season will be against the Red Wings and the Ironbacks, 2 teams that are mathematically eliminated from playoff contention. Big cut and miss by Prey evens up the count. Between now and then, the Americans set to have 5 other regular season games. It's Jamestown tomorrow, Batavia on Sunday, travel to Newark on Tuesday, then Muck Dogs and Pioneers. Payoff pitch right here is inside. Shane Prey takes a walk. Prey on first to start off this inning. And if there's any hope for a rally, that's the way to start it. Alan Ramos up next. Grant Moore on deck. And Tommy Mathey in the hole. 3 speedy hitters. Also 3 fairly consistent hitters. Mathey with a hit streak over the recent stretch. Ramos and Moore have had hits in nearly every game that they've played this summer for the Americans. The 0-1 pitch fouled off into the first base side stands and over them. Ramos in the 0-2 hole early. Bit of a slump for Allen after a solid hit streak over the last week or so. Swing and a miss right there. Ramos strikes out, 1 down, 1 on. And the Americans have not made contact in fair territory yet this inning. Americans at just 4 hits in this game. Just 1 for 16 with runners on. Upstairs, ball 1 to Grant. And I mean, just getting on base would be a success for Moore here, given his base running skills. Ideal situation would be to have second base open as well, with Prey advancing further. But it's ones across the board to Grant Moore. Cloudy skies and sun nearly fully set, as it's 2-1 on the dirt ball to Grant. Moore, product of Mount Vernon Nazarene University, looking to get on base for the first time today. Takes one at his head for ball 3. Anthony Serrano looking to finish this game for the Skunks, but he's already walked 1 batter and 1 ball away from walking a second. We'll see if this 3-ball count is more strategy to fool Grant Moore or just struggle to find that zone. Seems to be strategy. That's down the pike for strike 2 on the high edge. Count is all filled up on Grant Moore. Serrano already has 1 strikeout this inning, in addition to 7 on the day. Payoff pitch. Gets in there for strike 3. Grant Moore goes down looking. That's back-to-back strikeouts for Serrano. He has these Americans' number. Tommy Mathey up next. Mathey, the last hope for these Americans. And Shane Prey takes second base without contest on the early ball. Prey has a lead towards second. We'll wait for the call. Would imagine that'll be defensive indifference. 1-1 with 2 down in the inning. Mathey has 2 of the Americans' 4 hits. This would be a good time for a third. Knock in Prey, get a rally going, get the momentum starting to swing in this Americans' favor, headed into a season finale. Season finale between these two teams. But Tommy Mathey is down to his final strike. Anthony Serrano looking to close out this game once and for all. Would be 3 consecutive strikeouts if he can do it on the punchy. But it's an outside ball 2 instead. Strike 3. Just might have been too predictable there. Mathey ready to mash another hit. The Americans looking for just their second hit with a runner on base. 2-2 pitch is lined into center field. Bremner's there, makes the catch, ends the game. The Tarp Skunks have clinched the playoff tiebreaker over the Americans. They win this game 6-0. But the Americans are not dead yet this season and still in the fight for a home playoff game. Their next game will be tomorrow night against Jamestown in the series finale. 6:30 first pitch. Americans looking to avoid the sweep. And the Skunks, meaning that if the Americans can finish their regular season at a better rate than Jamestown does following tomorrow's game, they would get that second seed anyways. But for the time being, we'd like to thank everyone for bearing with us, as well as tuning into the broadcast. And we will be back tomorrow from Sal Magley Stadium. But for now, final score from Jamestown, Tarp Skunks 6, Americans 0.